right, hello there. So this is Mr. Karczewski for STEM class, and what we're going to do today is we're going to think about our essential question, which is how do you think critically to accomplish a task? Now, thinking critically is really an important skill that you need to develop. And in order to think critically, you ask a lot of questions and you think about what can happen as a result of a decision you make. And that comes over here to another key idea that I want you to think about, which is cause and effect. Now, you've probably talked about this in your home classes or your reading language arts classes, maybe in math too. But cause and effect is everywhere in the world. It's always going on, and it shapes the way things happen in our lives. So I want you to think about cause and effect today. Now look at this picture of a river. So the river is flowing, and I'm going to ask you a question to start with. Which direction do you think the river is moving? Let's talk about that. Let's have a couple people volunteer. So thinking about this, is there anything that you see in the picture? Use your observational skills. Is there anything you see in the picture that helps you to decide which way the water's flowing? Maybe there's something you notice, a key detail. Let's talk about that. All right, so probably you may have concluded at this point that the water is moving this way. All right, so what's the evidence? Well, if you look carefully at the picture, you might see fish, and you go, well, these fish are going this way, but those fish are swimming the other way. So the fish don't really help us, because some fish do like to swim upstream, and others will go downstream. Depends on what they want to do. But one thing in this picture that doesn't have a choice about what's going on is the plants. They have to go with the current, and you can see all of the plants are sort of leaning in this direction, which tells me that the river is flowing this way. So you just figured out one important thing that cause and effect would demonstrate. The cause is that the river's flowing this way, and the effect is that the plants are leaning in the same direction as the river. So cause and effect can help you think critically. You might not have known right away which way the river was flowing, but again, you look at details, think critically, and you can figure that out. Now, since we've been talking about dams and weirs lately, I'm going to install a dam. So here is our brand new dam used to control lots of things. I've got the dam built right here, and this is a passageway that lets water fill in here to this level. But now I want you to think about the effects that having the dam will have on all kinds of things. So let's start with this. What effect will we have if we place the dam here on the level of the water? Now we've got two different sides. I'm going to say we've got side A over here, and we've got side B over here. So what effect will putting the dam in place have on the water levels? You'll discuss that right now. Okay, next thing for you to think about is this. What effect will putting the dam here have on the plants that live on both sides of the dam? So discuss that one with your partners too. Okay, the next thing to think about is what effect will the level of water have on the animals that live on both sides of the dam? What sorts of changes will they experience? What will the effects be of us placing the dam where it is? So discuss that with your partners as well. Now we need to get into flood control, but before we can do that, let's be clear about what happens. So since the river's flowing this way, and I've got a large object, our dam, blocking up the river, you know the water level over here is going to increase. Now let's suppose that they built this dam because they wanted the water level to come to about here. They wanted to store up more water, let's say. Now, if you don't take care of one important thing, you're going to have the water flood over top of the dam, which is not what we want to have happen. So they installed a door. So this door is able to open and close. It's a floodgate. So they can open it, and that will allow water to pass through. Now, they are not going to open it all of the way. If they opened it all the way, the water level will come up to here. at this point, and they want it to be higher. So they're not going to open it all of the way, they'll open it partially and let out the water at a rate that they want. Okay, so forget about this one. Pay attention to that one. The water will pass through and they'll get it set just right so that the water is pretty much held constantly up at this level. Now that's a good thing for the people because they wanted to have the water level up here. However, sometimes bad weather comes. Think about cause and effect again. And suppose we've got a huge rainstorm all around. And it's not just going to rain here on this new body of water we've helped to create. It's going to be raining all over the place. And all of that water is going to come pouring into our streams and our rivers. So this is going to start overflowing. You have to take care of it. So what do you do with your floodgate? You've got a problem. There's lots of water coming, and that's going to cause you to do something new. So talk with your partners. What should you do? Okay, you probably figured out that you would want to open this floodgate up to its maximum. And if there are other floodgates along the dam as it comes towards us, you're going to want to open them too to let as much water through as possible and try and control the flooding. You'd rather not have the water come over top of your dam. So we need to make sure that we have a way to control this. Now, probably nearby there's a building where somebody could press a button, pull a lever, and operate these gates. However, people make mistakes. You know this and I know this. Grown-ups do, kids do, everybody makes mistakes. So if we've got a mistake where somebody maybe wasn't able to get to work, or let's say that they missed their shift or they fell asleep or maybe they were sick, I don't know. But suppose someone's not here to control this. Well, then we've got a problem. A big problem. So what we can do with technology is we can set up something to help prevent that. So today, what you're going to be investigating is a motion sensor. So in the Lego We Do kits, there's a piece of equipment that looks a little bit like this. And this would be your motion sensor. So it's got two little, I'm going to call them eyes, and it's got the cord, course, and there's the connector that goes into the Smart Hub. So this is your piece of equipment that you're going to be using today. However, in order for us to make good use of this, we're going to need to do a little research. So you're going to use this piece today, the motion sensor, to figure out how it works. You're going to really dig into the coding. We're not going to be building the dam today, but what we are going to be building is we're going to be building our old friend. You may remember him. Does that guy look familiar? All right, we're going to be building Milo. So we're going to make a Milo, and what we're going to do is after we have him built, we're going to apply a motion sensor to Milo, and that's going to be used with programming and code to make Milo do some different things based on what Milo sees using the motion sensor. Okay, so today it's all about learning about the motion sensor and how it works, so that next time we're together, you can build a dam that has a motion sensor that can tell when it's going to flood, and then it could open up the gates wide so that we don't have a disaster. All right, so today's goal, learn how to use the motion sensor in a couple different ways. All right, good luck with that, and let's see what you create.